Hey everyone, today we'll be solving the question find the grid of reason average. This came in LeetCode weekly contest 383 and the problem is of medium level. In this question, you'll be given m cross n grid that is representing an image and having pixels. Now, the constraint for the pixel is 0 to 255 and you can consider two pixels as adjacent if the difference between their x coordinate and the y coordinate and the sum of those absolute differences is 1. It means if you are standing at the ij index, then your I plus 1j, I minus 1j, ij plus 1, and ij minus 1. That is the upper one, bottom one, left one, right one would be considered as adjacent, not the diagonal one. Now, a reason is a 3 cross 3 subgrid with the absolute difference between each and every element is less than equals to threshold. Now, you have to return a result and it result of ij is containing the average intensity of the region to which image of ij belongs. If image of ij belongs to multiple regions, then that will be the average of the rounded average intensities of those regions. It means like if your image of ij belongs to multiple regions and multiple regions have some averages, let's say a1, a2, a3, and then what will be that image of like result of ij? That will be the a1 plus a2 plus a3 divided by 3. That is average of average. Now let me show the intuition and it will be more clear. In the question, you are given with n and m, and there is an image of size n cross m that is representing the pixels. Pixels. Now you have to find the average intensity for each and every pixel. So let's assume there is a grid 1, 2, 3, 4, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, and you are standing at the first element. Now what will be the grid now? And assume each and every element as the upper left one. So what will be your grid? So it will be of 3 cross 3. So this will be the reason. Now you have to find, is this a valid one? How will you find that? You have to check for each and every element's difference. Like the difference between each and every element should not exceed threshold. It must be equal or lesser than threshold. So if the difference are lesser than equals to threshold, then it's a valid one. It means a valid one. Now, if it is a valid one, then what will be the average intensity? The average intensity will be sum of all elements belonging to that particular region divided by 9, because a region is of 3 cross 3, that is containing 9 elements in total, so that's the average. Now if there is intersecting regions, let's say you are now starting for this element, so considering this as the upper left one, what would be the region? The region would be like this. Now for finding the valid reason or not, you will be calculating the differences between adjacent cells. If it is less than equals to threshold, it means it's a valid one. Now if it is a valid one, now average would be same, the sum of all elements divided by 9. Now you will be assigning for each and every element for this particular reason with this value, like you will be adding this value to all the elements belonging to that particular reason. Let's say we will be storing two values. Let's say one is average and one is reasons. Reason says that how many reasons that particular ij element is contributing to, and average is total average for all the reasons it is contributing to. So the yellow average one, like this particular reason, we had some average for the yellow reason. So let's say the average was a1. Now for the green one, the average was, let's say, a2. Now the element at index, let's say, assign some that is 1 comma 2, so that is 1 comma 1, 1 comma 2, 1 comma 3, that is 2 comma 1, 2 comma 2, 2 comma 3, 2 comma 4, 2 comma 5, and 2 comma 6. These are the indices. Now we'll be storing. While calculating the average for the yellow one, we had like let's say average of 1 would be a1 Same for 1 2 would be a1 similarly. But what about this 2 1, 2 2 and 2 3? 2 1 would have a1, 2 1 would have a1, like the average. Now, while calculating the average for the green region, we have calculated the average as a2, like over here. Now, like for 2 4, 2 5, 2 6, 2 1, 2 2, 2 2, 2 3, all will have a2 region also, like a2 average. This element is contributing to both the regions. So the regions it is contributing to will be 2, as it is having two averages. So how would we find that result? Result would be the average of particular element divided by the regions it is contributing to. So if the regions it is contributing to is 0, then we have to return that pixel itself, that is image of ij. If it is 0, that it is not contributing to any region, then we have to return that image of ij itself. Let me show the code and it will be more clear. What I've done in this code is, first I've taken n as number of rows, m as number of columns, and there is regions that is representing like each element, how many regions the element is contributing to. Now there is an average array for each and every element. Now you will be traversing for each and every element, considering that element as the upper left for those reasons. If the element is upper left, then it can go for n minus 2 rows and m minus 2 columns. So that's why there is a constraint. Now sum will be storing the sum of the elements of those reasons. Now flag as fun to check it is a valid reason or not. Now I'm checking it's a valid reason or not. So I'm traversing for each and every element and then checking is the absolute difference between those adjacent elements, that is ik and ikjl plus 1. It is that the next element to the column. If I'm standing at ij, then ij plus 1. So if the difference is greater than threshold, it means it's a non-valid reason. That's why I'm assigning the flag as 0. Now same for the lower row. Like if I'm standing at I comma j, then I plus 1 comma j. So that's it. So if it is greater than threshold, then it's an invalid reason. And sum is storing the sum of all the elements of the current reason. Now as I have traversed for, let's say, I plus 1. No, I'm not traversed for I plus 2 because it's a 3 cross 3 grid. Now for I plus 2, you don't have to check for the lower element. You have to check for only for the right element. So that's why I'm checking over here for the last row. I'm checking for the column values. Like if I'm standing at ij, then ij plus 1. Like there is 1, 2, 3. Now 2, 3, 4. And let's say 2, 3, 6, 7, 8, 5, 6, 7. Now, for this particular element, you have both right element as well as the lower one. But for the last row, you don't have the lower element. You have only the right element to compare. So that is over here I'm doing. And for the last column also, you have only lower element. So this if statement is stating that the last column and the last row. So what's that absolute difference is greater than threshold or not? If it is, then I'm assigning the flag as 0. So, and sum, like the last row and the last column sum. I'm adding to the sum variable. Now, if flag is 1, it means it's a valid reason. So, if it is a valid reason, then I need to assign for each and every element as like sum by 9. That's the average for each and every element. Now, reasons for each and every element now will increase by 1. So, that is, I'm incrementing the reasons variable. Now, I have to return my result. So, the result would be the average of average. So that's what I'm doing if it is not contributing to any reasons. So the result for that would be the image of ij itself. Else it would be the average divided by reasons it is contributing. So this is basically like result of ij is equals to the average and divided by the reasons, the number of reasons it is contributing. If it is less than like equals to 0, you don't have to do anything. It will be the image itself. So like this is basically this thing. So after that, I'll be returning my result. So that's it. I hope you like it. Thank you for watching.